Hello, dear students. How are you? Hope you all are doing very well. Today is 5th June 2020, World Environment Day. Wish you all Happy Environment Day. और आज हम अनलॉक 1 के फेज़ में, चूँकि इन्वायरमेंट दिवस भी है, पर्यावरण दिवस भी है, तो सोशल सेक्टर इन्वायरमेंट के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए जो सेमेस्टर 2 हैं, बीए फाइनल ईयर के इन्वायरमेंट पेपर को पढ़ने वाले स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, और साथ ही साथ पीजी के बच्चे जो हमारे पॉपुलेशन स्टडीज़ हैं उनके लिए भी, ये तीनों के लिए संयुक्त रूप से हमने एक इन्वायरमेंट डे को समर्पित करते हुए एक लेक्चर तैयार किया है, जिसको कि मैंने फेसबुक पर लाइव दिया था, लेकिन एकेडमिक लेक्चर के रूप में जो कि आपके सिलेबस में भी काम आएगा और डाटा बेस्ड है, उसको हम आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करेंगे. एंड आई एम नेमिंग इट सेव इन्वायरमेंट and the importance of environment. Today I have coined a term DGP, and in this lecture we have to evaluate between GDP and DGP. GDP we all know, gross domestic product, जो विकास दर की बात करते हैं, but DGP is dangerous growth of population. So we have to evaluate between these two terminology, GDP versus DGP, whether we should cut DGP or for that are we ready to cut GDP also. तो ये आज के दौर का है, इस पर हम आपसे बात करेंगे, बिकॉज दिस इज ए स्टिल कोविड-19 era, and till date today 5th of June, world has witnessed near about 67 lakhs people who are affected by this disease, and 3.93 करीब 4 लाख लोग पूरे दुनिया में मौत के काल में समा गए हैं, जिसमें अमेरिका जो सबसे विकसित देश था वहाँ पर 20 लाख लोग प्रभावित हैं और 1,10,000 लोग मौत के घाट उतर चुके हैं कोरोना की वजह से. भारत ने अभी भी अपने आप को बचाया हुआ, लेकिन तेज़ी से वो कम्युनिटी सेंटर की ओर बढ़ रहा है, यानी 7वें नंबर पर पहुंच गया है, जब उसका केस लगभग 2,26,000 पार कर गया और 6,363 मौतें हो चुकी हैं. तो हम एक डेंजरस दौर में, लेकिन इस दौर में वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट द pollution and environment. We all know that emission of greenhouse gases of human origin are the main cause of climate change. Their effects on global warming are devastating, and it's becoming more and more urgent that these emissions are reduced to stop humans from exercise so much pressure on the planet. Dear students, the situation is so critical that the International Energy Agency IEA, we all know about the IEA, I have taught you, has forecast is an increase in emissions of 130%, 130% by 2050 if we continue undebated. अगर हम जीडीपी और डीजीपी की बात नहीं करेंगे तो आने वाले समय में 130% एमिशन बढ़ जाएगा. एंड द मोस्ट पॉल्यूटिंग कंट्रीज सीम्स टू बी अवेयर they must reduce their carbon emissions, but despite agreements such as the Kyoto Protocol, these carbon dioxide emissions continue to rise. And to a greater or lesser extent, almost all the world's countries are responsible for the high level of this global pollution. But there are 5 on the top, and very surprising, India is among that 5. Dear students, China is contributing 30% of pollution, global pollution. The world's most populated country has an enormous export market, which has seen its industry grow to become a serious danger to the planet. In Corona war also, China has become danger because China has exported coronavirus to the world. Okay, in just 5 provinces, which that has most of these industries, more dioxide is emitted than in any other country in the world. In China, I am talking about 30% polluter. And second is United States, who is contributing 15%, 1/5, the world's biggest industrial and commercial power. although in recent times it has led the most important initiatives to combat climate change, in practice the great majority has been shown to be insufficient. So both China and America contributes 45% of the global world pollution, and then come the position of India, which is contributing 7% of the global population pollution. 14 of the world's 15 most contaminated cities are in India. Just remember this and be cautious that 14 out of world's 15 most contaminated cities are India. This is said by WHO. The country has had a low protecting air quality since 1981, but the burning of fossil fuels has grown significantly, and as a consequence, India occupies third place in the ranking of the most polluting countries in the world. So this is very surprising also, because still we are not moving in the very speed growth rate. And then come the position of Russia, which is contributing 5%, and then Japan is 4%. So dear students, you all remember that when I am suggesting this data to you, just remember what Malthus used to say. Malthus believed that there were two types of checks that in times and place kept population growth in line with the growth of food supply. Okay, so preventive checks such as moral restraints, absences and delaying marriage, etc., and restricting marriage against persons suffering poverty or perceived as defective. And second is positive checks, which leads to premature deaths such as disease, just like corona, starvation, war, resulting in what is called as Malthusian catastrophe. So population is a major issue when we are talking about environmental issues. We have to optimize our population. Malthus had alarmed us very earlier. Okay, so this catastrophe would return the population to a lower, more sustainable level. Malthusian has been linked to a variety of political and social movements, but almost always refers to advocates the population control. उन्हें कहा था कि संतुलन होगा, और कैसे प्रकृति संतुलन, तो दुनिया भर का निसर्ग, दुनिया भर के तूफान, दुनिया भर के भूकंप और तमाम तरह के डिजीज जो आ रहे हैं, ये माल्थुसियन थ्योरी के तहत आ रहे हैं. धरती का प्लेट्स असंतुलित हो रही हैं, क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है, ये सारे माल्थुसियन कैटास्ट्रॉफी हैं. तो डोंट काउंट एग्जैक्ट काउंट ऑफ द mortality, but just see the idea behind Malthusian theory. Okay, so Malthusian earlier suggested this, and then there was a theory in 1972 that called, you all know, that called is the limits of growth theory, LTG. That report on the computer simulation of the exponential economic and population growth, and that is called as a Club of Rome, in which Meadows was there, and that group was constituted with at least 17 researchers of the whole world. Okay, and they call that there is a limit to growth, but that we didn't take it very seriously. And then in 1992, that come beyond the limit theory, and in the form of book continuing the modeling of the consequences of the rapidly growing global population that was started in limit to growth. So population is a concentration. Population should be the mid of the discussion of the environment issues. Okay, so society has gone into overshoot, a state of being beyond limits without knowing it. These limits are more like speed limits than barriers at the end of the road. So all the renewable and non-renewable resources has been depleting. And then in 1992, Earth Summit was there with international community with an Agenda 21. And 10 years later, in Johannesburg Summit, presented an exciting opportunity for the leaders of the day to adopt concrete steps of the identify quantifiable targets for better implementing of that Agenda 21, in which there was a sustainable development goal. And at the end of 2000, whole world come with the Millennium Development Goal, which is called as MDGs. In that goal, all the 191 countries were there to say that we will eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, we will achieve universal primary of education, we will promote gender equality and empower the women. We will reduce child mortality. We will improve maternal health. We will combat HIV, AIDS, and malaria and other diseases. And we will ensure environmental sustainability and to develop a global partnership for the development. This was the Millennium Development Goal, and every countries have been given target to go for that. But very sorry to say that we are behind these all targets, especially in the field of environment issue. And that that Millennium Development Goals had translated into Sustainable Development Goal in 2016. Okay, so what I have to suggest today, for the sake of course also and for the sake of discussion also, that human capital, infrastructure and human rights is necessary. The MDG, Millennium Development Goal, emphasized three areas: human capital, infrastructure and human rights. Human rights includes social, economic and political, all three. Just remember, with the intent of increasing living standard. Okay, so human capital objective includes nutrition, healthcare and malaria and all the diseases and education. So healthcare, nutrition and education is a human capital objectives. And infrastructure objective includes access to safe drinking water, energy and modern information communication technology, which at the time of corona we are witnessing. Increased farm outputs using sustainable practices, transportation and environment. And what human rights includes? Human rights objectives includes empowering women, reducing violence, increase political voice, ensuring equal access to public services and increasing security of property rights. And the goals were intended to increase an individual's human capabilities and advance the means to productive life. So MDG emphasizes each nation's policies should be tailored to the country's need. Therefore, most policies are general. So this is the background what I have to talk today on the day of environmental 5th June. There are many protocols. Earlier I suggested there are Kyoto protocols, there were Doha protocols. Many negotiations were using to take place, but unsuccessful result was there. Why we should protect environment? Because it is critical, because moral obligations for humans to protect the environment from pollutions and other activities that leads to environmental degradation. Importantly, because environmental degradation is detrimental since it threatens the long-term health of the animals, humans and plants. Due to our health problem, we should protect the environment. And COVID proved that. You haven't aware earlier, and today we are in the phase of lockdown. Air and water pollution, global warming, smog, acid rain, deforestation, wildfires are just a few of environmental issues that we are facing right now. It's everyone's responsibility to take care of environment to make this planet a wonderful place to live. Okay, so one does not need to put lot of money to go green, but simple changes in daily lifestyle. What I have told in Facebook Live is all what is required to reduce a carbon footprint on the environment. So there are many reasons why we should protect environment. The reasons is we have to protect our ecosystem, we have to protect our humanity, there are moral obligations to preserve nature and its features, we have to protect our biodiversity characteristics, we have to protect our forest, we have to protect our future generation, we have to back on our all the planet style. There should be more plantation. Trees play significant role in blocking the wind. Trees help in keeping dirt in the place. Many animals need to environment for survival. Preserving the environment could prevent soil erosion. Maintaining the environment slows down global warming. Maintaining the environment leads to a creation of the natural watersheds. The forest, a useful part of environment, help us breathe. Maintaining the environment leads to less solar reflection. Maintaining the environment is critical in providing food for people, and maintaining the environment leads to availability of food for both animals and plants. So this is the reason why we should protect the and also environmental protection promotes economic stability. So as a student of economics, we should know for economic stability we have to protect our environment, and protecting the environment makes us happy also. with mind and physical environment. Environmental protection encourages better physical health. Environmental protection reminds us to appreciate the beauty of the nature. Environmental protection awaken our imagination. Protection the environment increases our tourism also. This is a very good source of income, and medicines can be found throughout the forest and environment. In the phase of corona, we all are tracing the medicinal trees. So this is why environment is important, and there are lots of benefits regarding economic, social and environmental benefits, and we have to take active actions to protect our environment. What is causing degradation? The size of human population, as earlier I told you, has grown exponentially since we discovered a way to cure some of the most common disease. With our population boom, we required more land, more water and more of everything. Forests have almost disappeared because we needed to clear them to plant more crops, to give animals a place to graze, and to supply us with wood and other raw materials. Technology and industry can be blamed too. And vehicle emissions, toxic waste, carbon emissions all emit toxins into our atmosphere, causing air pollution. And these are all byproducts of our inventions and ingenuity. This is why causing global warming. So we didn't realize that the earth's supply was not infinite. This was a thumb rule of economics. It can be depleted, and that is the state that is right now. और आज सबसे अधिक जरूरत है इस बात की बात करने के लिए. So we are using our natural resources faster than our planet can replenish them. Soon we will have a shortage when the supply runs out. And this is the fact that every year we extract the estimate 55 billion tons of fossil energy, minerals, metals and biomass from the earth. This is data based on United Nations publications. The world has already lost 80% of its forest. At the current rate of deforestation, 5 to 10% of tropical forest species will become extinct every decade. Every hour, we are lecturing today. Every hour, 1692 acre of productive dry land become desert. 27% of our coral reefs have been destroyed. We have a garbages of floating in our ocean. We are using up 50% more natural resources than the earth can provide. And believe what experts say, that at our current population, we need 1.5 Earths, which we do not have. 1.5 पृथ्वी चाहिए जो हमारे पास नहीं है. जनसंख्या बढ़ती जाएगी तो ये समस्या हमारे सामने आ जाएगी. So these are the key factors. That's why environmental degradation produces disaster, hunger, thirst, diseases. Okay, so in a new report came that more than 75% of the Earth's land area is substantially degraded, undermining the well-being of 3.2 billion people. And according to the world's first comprehensive evidence-based assessment, we can say that lands are very fastly becoming as a desert. And in this, if this trend continues, 95% of the Earth's land areas would become degraded by 2050. Okay, so this is the most affected part is human being and human being health. And what WHO estimated that in 2012 there was 12.6 million people died as a result of living or working in an unhealthy environment, representing 23% of all the deaths. And this is very alarming figures. When accounting of both deaths and disability, the fraction of the global burden of disease due to the environment is 22%. In children under 5 years, up to 26% of all deaths could be prevented if environmental risks were removed. Okay, so 68% of these attributable deaths and 56% of attributable deaths could be estimated with the evidence-based comparative risk assessment methods. And 23% of all estimated global deaths are linked to the environment. 1 out of 4 deaths of all premature deaths and diseases worldwide are due to man-made pollution and environmental damage. This is a report published by United Nations. So we have to be cautious with all this. And one very quick data I will produce before you, that 3.8 million deaths every year as a result of exposure to indoor smoke from a cooking fuels. 4.2 million deaths every year as a result of exposure to fine particulate matter That's why in India, Ujjwala scheme is a very successful scheme. We are eliminating the deaths. We are saving our poor women. Okay, and a very interesting data is still there that 2.5 million deaths annually due to stroke, and this is linked to environment. 2.3 million deaths due to ischemic heart disease, 1.7 million deaths annually due to cancer, and 1.4 million deaths annually from chronic respiratory diseases, and this all linked with the pollution as well as in the COVID era. These are at the risky end. They are most risky human beings in the case of corona. And so in the near future, population is still growing, so we have to think of the optimum population, because in India also pollution is rising, and in the after post COVID era we are dreaming to become a alternative of China. Then we are already, I told you that China is a 30% emitter of the pollution. So are we ready to take that emission part also? So this we have to think of a own economic model. And lockdown shows that in the period of lockdown we saw clean river, we saw clean air, we saw clean mountain, we saw clean sky. So whether we move towards a sustainable development model, a third wave for the Indian economy, or we will still stay as we are staying today. So dear students, this is a matter of concern, cautious, and also as a course for you. Thank you very much. Be safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much.